Quincy, what's good with you, boy? I'm in King.
So we're here live with Mase in the first tell-all interview since his comeback with G-Unit. This is the official 21 Questions interview. So I guess we'll start with, I want to know, and a lot of people want to know, what are you doing with 50 and G-Unit?
What I'm doing with 50 Cent and G-Unit is the same thing Jesus would be doing with any robber, any murderer, any lady that was living a promiscuous life. I feel I have a light about me, and my light will better shine in the darkness.
But how can you do both, pastor and the music?
Because I'm talented enough to do it, and God has given me the ability to do it. God is, He's blessed me to a point that anywhere I go, He said He was going to bless me, and anything I put my hand in, He said He would cover it. So if I'm not supposed to fear what happens around me, then all I am is a living example of walking out what He said could really happen. It's not for me to live with limits. If He said all things are possible, who am I to say I can only do one thing? He said I could do all things through Him. I mean, that's what the Bible said. I know a lot of people don't read it. I'm not saying people are stupid, but He said I could do all things through God. So who are people to say what I can and cannot do? That's like somebody saying Dion can't play football and baseball, but he was an all-star at both. So if I'm good at preaching and I'm also good at rapping, should I not do both because a few people got a problem with it? I don't care what people think. I wore a shiny suit. I tell you, I don't care what people think.
Worldwide. Okay, true. But look, why is the music the same? That's what a lot of people want to know.
The music is the same, just like if I'm playing basketball. Because I'm born again, that doesn't mean I can't dunk. Does that mean I can't dunk? If I'm a boxer, do I not knock somebody out because I'm born again?
Right.
Or if I'm a running back, do I not run him over to get the touchdown because I'm a born again believer? Should I run around the whole field around people instead of knocking them down and get the touchdown? Rap is a verbal sport, so should I not get in the sport? To be verbal is a verbal sport. So how can I do both? My music is not the same, or it's the same. I don't know what question. What did you ask me?
No.
Why is my music?
Why is it the same?
Why is it the same?
From when you left.
Just look at it like this. This is the perfect way. I know everybody get this. David in the Bible, he cuts a man's head off, hold his head up, and then Charles Manson cuts a man's head off. Now in the Bible they say David is a man after God's own heart.
Worldwide legacy.
Charles Manson cut somebody's head off. He's a serial killer. What's the difference? Same content. The only difference is the intent. His intent was different for cutting his head off. His intent was to further what God said. His intent was just selfish, malice type of living, and it was just wrong because he had no purpose in it. When you do something wrong, you say God knows your heart. Why? Because you know that's the only thing God looks at, the intent of your heart. What was the intentions of why you did it? So if I say I went out there, but my real plan was just to introduce people to God. I'm not trying to preach to people or to teach them anything. That's not what I'm here for. The same way DMX did all that, and then at the end of his show, he was praying. And people felt that. Why can't I do the same thing?
WorldwideLegacy.com.
Well, speaking of intent, what really made you come back?
That is my intent. That's my intent. If I'm at a show and 60,000 people in the stadium, we got the joint rocking. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end, I'm just telling them, yo, check this out. I done had all the girls all over the world, right? Everybody gonna be like, go ahead, Mase. And I done smoked the best, right? Go ahead, Mase. And I invented the bling thing, And then I said, but yo, to keep it real with you, if I knew about some millions that belong to you and I ain't tell you, that would make me a sucker. If I knew about some pretty girl that liked you and I ain't show you, that make me a sucker. Well, what I want to share with y'all tonight is better than anything I ever just told you. And if you want to feel like I feel, put your hands in the sky. How many people going to put their hands down? So if you take 60,000 people, that's going to be at least 60,000 people that's going to put their hand in the sky and receive Jesus right then and there. I'm not telling people stop smoking, stop drinking. First things first. Let me first get the man in. That's y'all personal business. What y'all do after that? People who think I'm coming around to tell them, hey, you smoking that blunt, you smell like purple, you going to hell. And I used to be like that because I didn't know no better, but that's not the best approach. Nobody want to be around somebody you ain't seen 5 years and he come back just with the Bible and preaching all everybody. You know what you gonna say. Right. Oh, here he come.
Right.
I ain't here to make people feel uncomfortable. I want them to feel comfortable so when they get to a point when they need somebody to talk to on that tour, you can say, yo, I'm going to go talk to Mase. They may not say it to everybody else, but they're going to do it on the law. So the music just get me in.
So subconsciously, do you think, like in the back of their minds, you know, are they thinking, is he doing it for the money? Like a lot of people want to know that. And a lot of people are questioning that.
When you take 50 and you take Diddy, you already know with that pie being sliced, it ain't gonna be nothing but crust left. So it can't be for the money. I already had Diddy in my pocket, and now for Fifth to buy the deal from Diddy, ain't gonna be no money in that. Rappers already made their money off shows. But like I told Fifth, and we can get Fifth on the phone, I said, Fifth, pay Puff the $2 million. Why? Because it doesn't matter. Because he kept saying, we paid $2 million and we do this and we do that. It's really not going to be no money in it for you. But that's the best way to prove that I'm not in it for the money. Do the deal.
Well,
I haven't been going.
Sacrifice yourself
Yeah,
for
because I know once I complete this, you don't even know what's at the end of the road of this. For the end of this rainbow for me, that's why I can't quit.
I understand.
I totally get it. It makes sense to me, but you know, most crazy people, it makes sense to them.
No, definitely. So we have to know, you know, because you once were cool with, you know, members of Dipset.
Yeah.
Now there's the feud. What's going on with you and Dipset?
When you think of Dipset, you gotta understand, like, we grew up together. Cam was always like an extraordinary basketball player. I was always a hard-working basketball player. When it came time for scholarships, I wasn't getting the big schools. Cam went away to JUCO. I'm trying to find a SUNY school. So I was always under Cam. Like, you know, Cam was the flyest nigga in high school. I was the dirty nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was the nigga that didn't have much. You know what I'm saying? But the funniest nigga in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the point I got left back to graduate with Cam.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was getting left back anyway.
Right.
But I was always under Cam. But then when it came to music, it was like it switched. And I can't speak for him, but really in my heart, with all malice to the side, or pride to the side, or ego to the side, I really just think that made things awkward because I was always number 2 and I switched to number 1 and he had to play sidekick.
Worldwide legacy.
You get what I'm saying? And I think people just put us against each other from the very day. I felt like when I went on mixtapes, I took Cam. When I went on tour, Puff could even vouch for it. I told Puff, Cam have to be on this No Way Out tour. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't give him a whole bunch of money, but I did try to take him and do shows with me. Then I took him to Big. You know what I'm saying? And after that, he got to deal with Undiz, and the problem wasn't really between me and Cam. It was between me and Undiz. Undiz told me, I need you to do one Cameron video. To make a long story short, I did one video, and then after that, Un was like, that wasn't a Cameron video. That was a Wu soundtrack video. I'm like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, yo, all right, I'll do it, but you're going to have to pay me on this one. I felt like $50,000 was decent. I had already charged Brandy like $150 to do Sitting on Top of the World. So I felt like I was taking a third of what I was getting at the time, which I didn't feel like was robbery in no sort. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I should eat. And then when it got to a point I didn't do it, then niggas like, that's your man, he should never charge you, it should never be a money issue. And it shouldn't. But just because you my man don't mean we just never break bread.
Worldwide legacy.
You know, and then something else, I don't know. It's just a bunch of nonsense.
So would you say there was some rooted competitiveness there?
I mean, we grew up as competitors. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask Cam right now, he's not going to say Mase better than him or Mase was ever better than him. And I'm not going to say Cam is better than me. So it's like we know each other well enough to know what type of person we dealing with. I look Cam in the eyes, I know he wouldn't do nothing to me. And I know, regardless of what I say on the record, I would never do nothing to him. I can't speak for nobody else with him, but I could honestly say I know he wouldn't do nothing to me. All I'm saying is, I wasn't no killer. Let's just put it all out there. None of us are. We are AAU talented basketball players at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to punk nobody. But what I would say, the problem is this. They want me to accept that they've changed, but they don't want to accept that I've changed. So if in the 5 years of me being gone, and now you're this street cat, then why can't I be this righteous man?
And you saying you don't think that he would do anything, do you feel like he has control of anybody else around him from doing anything?
I'm not going to give the political correct answer. I know he don't have control over the people around him. But me, I am a leader. The people that are around me, they're going to do what I say or they won't be around me. I don't have loose cannons around me that I can't control, because I couldn't say I'm a general if all my soldiers don't fall in line. And for no reason, when I tell my lieutenant take his hat off, do he keep his hat on?
Okay. So not only was this, ongoing, but a lot of people want to know, like, and you're coming back.
Yeah.
How did the church respond to that initially?
Initially, people used to look at me, being that I've been around some of the snakiest people. Like, when you grow up in Harlem, Harlem is like the most devious place, because people will laugh in your face and walk you to your death, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to see through a lot, you know what I'm saying? And the way I move is a God-given gift. I could read people, I just never let them know. And what hurt people the most is they look at me and be like, they thought they had me fooled. So when I do something to show them they ain't have me fooled, they get more angry with me. Does that make sense? So it's like when I started doing music, even people in church, they try to act like I'm really with you, but they was two-stepping to the door. They're far enough to run if it don't work, and they're close enough that if it worked, oh yeah, I knew you was right, you know what I'm saying? So people was kind of like trying to play it safe, you know what I'm saying? I felt bad about when I first came back, because I felt like it was the first time that I disobeyed God. Because Welcome Back wasn't the music I should have done. I felt like I did what was safe because I had parishioners, you know what I'm saying? I had little kids that look up to me, people in children ministry, people all through the church that look up to me, grown and old. And I felt like I didn't want to say or do anything that make them look at me different than the person they have grown to know me to be. Like, there's preachers that have opened their churches to me, sent money to my ministry to do the things that I'm doing, and I really didn't want to let them down. But I had to realize I'm not here for them. They didn't save me. None of them saved me. And if y'all gonna respect me as a faith man, you gotta let me do my faith. I can't keep doing what makes sense to everybody else, because I can't sleep doing what makes sense to everybody else. Right now, I'm doing what been made sense to me. But I was always thinking, if I do that, how people gonna take it? How people gonna look at it? But what I did that made sense to them made no sense to me. So now I'm finally doing what makes me happy and at peace with my maker. So how everybody else feel about it, that's their business.
Worldwide legacy.
The church got bigger. It got bigger since all that. You came through, it got bigger. The line is down the street like Vision. And they mad because they expected me to fail and I didn't fall. Like right now, they trying to stall me, because people know I got the music now that I should have had before. If I had another Welcome Back, they'd be ready to put me out. But because they know what I got now, they try to hold me up. They try to hold me up. God, don't let them hold me up. Please.
Exactly. Okay. Makes sense. So they want to know, a lot of people, you hear them talking and...
When you say a lot of people, who is a lot of people?
We speak on the general public.
All right, go
general
ahead.
Public.
General public,
a lot
GP.
Of people, they hear you on the mixtapes.
Yeah.
They hear, they hear you on the Window Shopper remix. They hearing different records, so they want to know. Like, have you actually slipped up while being back in the business?
I made so many mistakes being in this business. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to hurt people. I'm not going to leave nothing for you to run with. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expected to fall and crumble. Me falling only makes me stronger in my community. When I go before people and tell them, hey, I slipped, I messed up, you know what they look and say? Me too, thank you. Now I know you're not perfect too, I can relate. Mm-hmm. I'm not out here saying I'm perfect. That's what they missing. Am I susceptible to make a mistake? Of course. Mm-hmm. I'm not perfect, but I have perfect forgiveness. That's the whole thing. God gave a perfect plan to an imperfect man like me.
I understand.
But he gave me perfect forgiveness, so anytime I want to be forgiven, I could be forgiven. I had this line in the rap where I say, if I want to get a chick, I can't even tell you that. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's off the record called Hypocrite. I made a record called Hypocrite.
Okay. No lines? We can't get a line?
Nah, this was so crazy. It'll just throw the whole interview off.
Okay, I'd take that. Well, a lot of people, including myself, because, you and this guy had a really good rapport. People seeing him, help start your career.
Yeah.
What's going on with you and Diddy?
Legacy.
Me and Diddy right now, I think, is a chess match. I think deep down, Diddy love me. I know deep down I love Diddy. I think it's a chess match. I think because of misunderstanding, he probably have said some things about me that if he could take back, he'll take back, and I could say the same. You know what I'm saying? Because when I look at it, I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of these little boys. If I'm wrong, I'm going to tell you I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm going to tell you I'm right. Mm-hmm. I only had one problem with Diddy. You want to know what that problem is?
What's that?
Is that he did business and called it family. That's the only problem I ever have with him. I respect the business moves he made. Mm-hmm. I just didn't think he had to use family to do business. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, say it's Puff Daddy and the family, but then it's really business because the deals you made were business that only work good for you, not the family. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, do I respect Puff? Yeah, and not just to get the deal done. Mm-hmm. I told you what I don't like. I don't like the fact that we was portrayed as family, but we was never really family. Everybody was just on their own. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In turmoil, you just figuring out what they gonna do. Because, when Puff got the $40 million, I'm thinking if I'm robbing, I at least got 4 coming. You know what I'm saying? He gave me a little Rolex.
Okay.
And I said, Rolex? What? You know what I'm saying? A Rolex?
Exactly.
But, and then when I came into money, I looked at how people look at me the same way. Mm-hmm. Because I know the business now, I know that's not what was supposed to happen. Right. So the more I learn, the more I appreciate that. I respect Puff, man. That man helped me move my family out the gutter. The problems I have with Puff are personal. Mm-hmm. They, you know what I'm saying? So they ain't really to be aired on, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's between me and Puff, you know what I'm saying? Right. But he helped me move my moms out the hood. I moved out the hood. I really ain't got no problem with Puff. Because when I think about it, you know what I told Puff? I want you to make me big. I ain't asked for no money. I said I want to be big. I want to be known everywhere. I want to be so big that if I see a girl, she faint. I don't want to be one of them rappers that she said, oh, there go Mase. I wanted to fall out like Prince when she see me.
Did it happen?
And he did it. You know what I'm saying? So really, like even in my rap, when I say I'm the newest member of the bad boy team, and I'm gonna make the nigga Puff mad more crazy. I ain't say make Mase no money. I said I'm gonna make Puff more money. Right. And that's what I did. So
today, no hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
No
like,
hard feelings with you.
Like when I say something about Puff on a record, it's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I have to be true to me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see Puff at times, Did I want to scrap with Puff? Of course. Who worked with Puff that didn't want to scrap with Puff? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, I was sharing White Castles. I'm eating Mr. Chow's for lunch today.
WorldwideLegacy.com.
We were splitting a hero, arguing over who broke it the wrong way so he could get the bigger piece. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm sitting pretty, so at the end of the day, it worked out for me, my man.
So he's sitting pretty.
You know what I'm saying?
And speaking of which, like,
I just need Diddy to do this deal and just let me move on, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going.
That. If there was anything that you could say to Diddy right now,
I'm not going to work for Diddy. It doesn't matter. That is paperwork. I'm not going to work for him. So let me move on, because what I came to do is bigger than music, man. And the more they hold me up and the more I'm not heard, the more bricks keep getting laid to make my job that much harder, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't about no Mason, Betha, and Sean Combs. This about God and the devil, man. This ain't about what everybody else trying to make it into, man. It's bigger than all that. So the music, I can make whatever music I want. Somebody got a problem with me, put your hands on me.
So it definitely sounds like that's
yeah, that's the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? It ain't really no problem with nothing else, man. Diddy my dude, man. I'm not saying it's just for him to do the deal. After he do the deal, would I say something? Of course. But it's inevitable to happen. Am I going to try to disrespect him? No. I do have to tell a story. That's why it's like me and Cam run into a conflict, because when you tell your story and you got so much history with somebody, it's hard to tell a story without using the people that was in the story. I'm not snitching on nobody or nothing like that. If I rename them, then you get mad at what I named you. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just tell a story once and be done with it. Like after the day, I'm not answering no more Cameron questions. After the day, I'm not answering no Jim Jones question, no nobody question, because what I'm here for ain't none of them, man. So I wanted to do this interview to get all that out, because when I move forward this time, if somebody asks me them questions, I'm not asking them. I'm going to look at them like they stupid. I don't believe in going back and forth. You do a record about me, I do a record about you. After that, if you see me do something or else, leave it alone. Because I ain't impressed.
Worldwide.
So let's put some finality to the Puff questions.
Yeah.
And we'll that.
Yeah, we don't have
we just want to know, do you think that he's doing it to be spiteful? Since you mentioned him holding you up.
He can't hold me up. Just like when I wanted to leave music, I just left. It ain't matter about no contract. He can't hold me up. Mase does what he want to do, man.
All right. So it's like in the physical, I know a lot of people, this is not a normal interview where they can see you, but you're sitting here, you got your tee on, your jewels on, your hat, you know, normally how they used to seeing you in public, which is not how they see you in church.
Yeah.
So can you explain to them the difference between Pastor and Murder Mase?
Well, sometimes I wear Briones. I don't really wear red monkeys and all that, because I don't like the high crotch and all that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't crossed over to the European and all that yet. You know what I'm saying? But now in church, I just come to church regular, man. I feel like I have to come where people are to bring them where I am. But just because I wear a suit, that don't mean I'm a different person. Just like water, ice, snow. That is the same element. It's just different functions. In a matter of one day, I'm a CEO, I'm an artist, I'm a consultant, I'm a father, I'm a pastor, I'm a husband, I'm a friend. That's 7 different things, and I'm also working out my own relationship with God. That's just in one day. So all through the day, I'm called on to do different things, but that doesn't make me a hypocrite, because today I got on sweatpants and I'm going to take the garbage out. And then I switch to a suit to go to a business deal. If it calls for a suit, you don't go in there with a Rockaware hoodie on. But that doesn't make you a hypocrite because you didn't have on a Rockaware sweater. Some people actually look good doing all of them. I think what get people mad is that I can do both. They haven't even examined how is he gone away from music 5 years and he's back after 5-6 years and still sound as good as anybody. We haven't even answered that. Can I get an amen, hallelujah on that? I've been going 5 years, didn't even keep up with the music. I come back, this music sound foreign to me. It sound like Luke music to me. You got to understand, I was here when it was John B. That's how long I've been here, since it was 2-inch reels.
Worldwide legacy.
When these dudes that are rapping now couldn't get a deal. Why? Because I was here.
So do you feel like the music that you're doing right now, is it a contradiction?
No, the music that I'm doing now puts me in a place where I could speak to the world. Who want to hear your story if you're a broke man? Right?
This is true.
But if I make money, then it's wrong. If I don't got money, they ain't gonna listen.
Right.
But like people ask me, do you get a salary? Of course I get a salary. I work. When people get off drugs, how much is that worth? For your mother that's destroying your family because she's on heroin, when she get off drugs, how much is that worth? When you got a daughter that turned out a lesbian and she run away from the family and she's brought back to the family, how much is that worth? When you got a family that is getting divorced, the kids don't know what to do, and that family get brought back together, how much is it worth? And when you take how much life is worth, because I always ask the people in church, when they ask me how much should I get, I ask them how much is your life worth? And you tally up all the people in here and how much their life is worth, and y'all ain't paying me half of what I really deserve.
So you're saying it's priceless.
It's priceless.
Basically. So, by you coming back and you deciding to go with G Unit.
Yeah.
What if, hypothetically, if G Unit went ice cold?
Yeah.
Nobody's messing with G Unit. Would you still be there?
I would only be places that have the balls to back whatever a man say. I'm not with G Unit for protection. I chose G Unit because I felt like that's the place where the people would be more supportive of a person that is considered a rebel. You know, anytime a person worked this hard to get there, you know it got to be a great reward. That's why I went on a tour with G Unit and didn't ask to get paid nothing and just did it all free and had my wife and somebody else running the church, because I wanted them to be convinced that I'm not here for the money and all of that other stuff. I didn't get paid a dime to do none of that. I was gone for months. But it ain't like I'm saying, yo, pay me. I'm saying, yo, just let me do what I came to do, man. That's all I want. It's common sense. Just like how DMX used to do all that, and at the end of his show, just pray. Can I do that? That makes sense. It just doesn't make sense the more I don't be out there. Because you keep hearing what everybody else say. So I would be at G Unit or any place that people would just be like, that's what he said, then that's what he said. I don't need no protection. I walk around icy everywhere. I've seen everybody. Everybody that done possibly said something, I see them all. No burn on me. Why? Because before they can even touch me, something happened to them. That's why they haven't gotten to me. Enough people right now want to do something to me that I'm been supposed to be outlined in chalk. But why not? Because every time they think about doing something to me, their car break down, somebody ain't bring the gun, and something is always happening because I really have somebody on my side. And they don't want to acknowledge it and say it's God. It's not. The devil ain't helping me. If the devil was helping me, then everybody would get along with me.
Whole heaven backing me up, so keep cracking.
Yeah. Whole heaven backing me.
No, we heard the mixtape. So it sounds like you're trying to, definitely keep your balance between the two. But in doing that, if you had to choose, which one would you choose, church or music?
I would choose God over music any day. Why? Because when I left music, I thought music made me. Honestly, I thought I was nothing without music. Without the money that music could produce for me, when I took all these diamonds off and people saw me and didn't acknowledge me right away, that started to do something to my mental. And then I was rebuilt on the inside. after I got rebuilt on the inside and all this came back to me, I don't need it as much now because I know who I am. I didn't know who I was. I thought this made me. This is not what make me. This is what make me. My heart, my mouth. You would have to say I'm totally courageous because I'm actually working on my own. There's nobody really backing me. I'm out here like everybody gunning for me. I've inherited my own beefs, G-Unit beefs, and that deal is not even 100% yet. But if I had to choose music or God, that's a no-brainer. I've seen more with God than music could ever do. I want some rappers to know that because rappers going to have to start figuring out what they're going to do after music.
Well, actually, I was going to get to that next because some rappers actually have a problem with it. And Loon's one of them.
Yeah.
So, we were wondering, what exactly is going on with you and Loon.
Me and Loon don't really have no problem. Me and Loon had a misunderstanding, I would say, or a misinterpretation of some things he said. I took him the wrong way. And if Loon is listening, I apologize for that. I'm a big enough man that if I do something wrong, I have the right to apologize, I just feel like at this point with Loon
Worldwide legacy.
and the same thing with Fab, I just felt like people just keep taking shots at me and I'm not shooting at them. Like I felt like some of the things when I really sat back and listened, I heard a lot of things that Fab could have took, like I said, towards him. This is before I blatantly said his name and Loon name. But I felt like before I even said anything about Fab, I felt like for years people been taking shots at me. Like, it's like almost like you need something to rhyme with Ace, just say Mase. I seen you down south like Mase. I blow a nigga head off, have a nigga run into the church like Mase. Have a nigga. I just felt like everybody just is using my name. And then one time I heard a dude rapping on Smack from Detroit. He said, "You're like Mase. You're not a bad boy." And I'm thinking like, have I been that kind and gentle that they really need me to be something different? And then I think about it, I'm not going to let them take me out of character. I do the music, but I'm not going to let them bring me out of character because if you know real niggas don't run their mouth anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? When you start saying, I got a gun that'll go, real niggas don't talk like that.
So, would you say to some degree, is that what made you go to God?
Huh?
Would you say to some degree, is that what made you go to God? What made you go to God? What made you leave Harlem?
Money made me leave Harlem. People like to blame it on Maine, Lottie. That's not what made me leave Harlem. What made me leave Harlem is I got rich. What was I supposed to do? Knock St. Nick Projects down and build a mansion where St. Nick Projects is? That's what you do music for, to leave the hood. So what people don't really know is this. I was going out the hood ever since 97. When I was recording my album, I was living at Puff House. So I've been out the hood for 10 years now. So when I hear people out there talking, I'm like, I can't listen to a girl that dislike you. Because she's not going to tell me the truth. And you can't listen to somebody that's on the payroll of somebody who dislike you. A lot of the DJs, they're on the payroll of these people. So they have interest in why they should side with that party.
Worldwide legacy.
Do you really want to believe people change? No, it's easier to believe people never change. Then say this guy really have an authentic agenda. I blew most of my money when I first got money from Puff on my friends. I didn't even take care of my family the way I was supposed to. And then when everything crumbled and I left music, it was like my family was looking at me like, those are niggas you took care of. All of the niggas that's gunning for you, they may not look at it like you spent all your money on them, but you give 500 to 400 people, and that's a substantial amount of money. And then you keep going, 1,000 here, $200 here, $50 here, everywhere you go, to everybody you see. And before you know it, you spent at least $2 million. But people don't see it like that. They just see, oh, the nigga only gave me $700. Oh, his whole life he only gave me $300. But time 10,000. And tell me how much is that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's nobody that could really say in no kind of way I didn't help them. And through this interview, I really believe people are going to be able to cut through the nonsense and hear the sincerity in my voice and be able to get the real story. Because a lot of things that people say, some of it was right. You're right, I did leave. But say why? Say why. If I have people with me that's supposed to be close to me, trying to set me up and all this. Like just the other day, I was digging in the crack of my Phantom in the side for the CD. I was bent over backwards. And the guy, main brother, walked up on me. I turned around like, and I saw him, and he put his hand on my shoulder like, Mase, it's peace. I leaned back like, oh my goodness. He said, no, Mase, it's all good. And that did something to me because I was in Harlem. But you know what that made me feel like? All the people were standing on the corner. You know what that said to me? If he would have walked up and killed me, everybody on that corner felt, because of what they heard, that he was justified in what he did. But when he said that, not only is me and him cool, I'm done with Harlem.
Worldwide legacy.
Done like never going back.
I'm done. I'm no longer from Harlem. I'm from Atlanta. Because that sealed the deal that all along this guy been innocent. If I would have saved this for my album, you could say I'm doing it for publicity or for money. I just want people to know the truth so they could start, you know what I'm saying? Start accepting the music as what it is, man, because I really have something to share with them. That's it.
So do you think that you feeling the way you feel and not representing Harlem anymore, you know, the way you once did, that they're going to have a problem with that?
I feel like Jesus, honestly. I came to my own. My own forsook me. I have nothing else to do. I've done what I was supposed to do. I get an artist or something and try to look out for them. But I can't rep something that I feel like hates me. And everybody in Harlem don't hate me. I was a child in Harlem. I became a man in Atlanta. If I'm saying I'm a man, I'm from Atlanta.
Okay. A lot of clarity on that one right there.
Now let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Honestly, what's your take?
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
I mean, it feels good to know, you know, you hearing the story in depth after you've heard the story once, you know, with minor details. It adds up in a way that it didn't before.
Yeah.
It puts, you know, puzzle pieces in place that weren't always
so
there.
So it's like now,
it's clarity.
It makes sense. Yeah, that's all. It's like I felt like I was never making sense to people, and it's frustrating when you feel like you're intelligent and people, the whole world looking at you stupid. When I go through the mall, people are like, hypocrite. I'm with my family. You're the devil. I'm somewhere else. You're taking them people money. And I'm looking like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I could be walking with my son and somebody just go, Dipset. And I'm looking like, yo, you get what I'm saying? Like, you totally disrespecting me, my man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the more and more you're kind, the more and more aggressive people get. So it's like, when I'm aggressive musically, I'm just letting them know I'm not going for it. Because you be soft with a person and they get more aggressive. You be like, nah, I don't want no problem. I know you don't want no problem. Nah, just chill. Everything's all good. And it better be good. But you tell somebody, let's go around the corner. Oh, that wasn't about nothing, Mase. That was, you feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm not trying to really, like, match hate with hate. I'm just defending myself, man. How much do I take?
Worldwide legacy.
How much do I take? I'm not a murder. People like, oh, he on mixtapes, he's about guns now. No, I'm in self-defense mode now. Well, eventually my wife will be asking me, you talking to me like that, talk to Camden like that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, you get all out of it here, you know what I'm saying? You get loud up in here, you say that to Jimmy, you know? You know, so it's like,
Exactly.
I don't really have no problem, but ain't gonna be no more pushing around it. That's all I'm saying. So when I talk, that's the point I'm coming from. Ain't gonna be no more pushing around here. Y'all done did all the pushing that's gonna take place. Ain't gonna be no more pushing.
Right.
That makes sense, right?
The elementary school tactics.
Yeah, no more pushing.
I got you.
All
Okay.
right.
So before we're gonna, definitely wrap that up. A lot of people, raise brows when they hear the comments about the Brandy thing and on the record. Do you still have a good rapport with her behind all of that?
I would think not. I would think not, but one day we'll work it out. At this point, I feel like I gotta tell a story, man. Like, if I'm gonna tell it all, I gotta tell it all, man.
Right.
I can't. If I don't tell it all, then you gonna say I'm confusing you.
Okay.
Welcome Back confused you because I didn't tell you what I'm telling you now. This album ain't gonna be no confusion. You gonna know A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then after that, y'all want me to stay? I'll stay. If you don't, but I know they gonna want me to stay because I'll let people hear the music. Some people that heard the music, they was like, yo, Mase, people are gonna kick themselves in the butt when they hear this. Because the music is hands down one of them albums. It's one of them to put right next to Doggy Style and the rest of them in Harlem World and Reasonable Doubt and Illmatic.
You got a classic?
One of them one.
Right.
One of them one. If you know Mase, ask anybody that know me. I'm never going to do nothing that I know I'm going to lose at. So if I start a fight, I already know I can win it. I already know I got what seals the deal. Don't make me push that button. Because I got what seals the deal. But I don't want to end on no negative note.
No.
I'm from the A now.
Wow. And that's what's on the mixtape. That's where that came from?
That's where that
I'm from
came
the A now?
I'm from the A now.
Snap music?
Hey. Hey.
Wow.
That means I gotta start being in some of the A videos now. Cause I already had a bounce. Oh.
Get your dance going down, right? That's like the old Mase swagger with the snap right now.
Hey. Nah, I'm out.
Yeah, dude's in here wilding right now.
I got other things to do, B. I'm about to get with Who Kid. And we're about to go do this Harlem mixtape. Bring the unity back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's my way to sever the whole thing. I'm done. Peace, my dude. Yo, Bugs. I love you, my G. You was the only dude kept it so real with me, my man. My homie Bugs, he's the dude from Harlem. He kept it so gangster with me.
Well, there you have it. The official 21 Questions interview that turned into like 21 plus some. We wish you the best, my man.
Mercy.